This is the last module of chapter 1, and it's about repos and reverse repos, which means reportos in Spanish. So let's explain what it is. A repo is basically a transaction where you have a trader that wants to buy or to have a long position in a bond. So here you have the trader, and the trader wants to buy a bond. Now the thing is, the trader doesn't have the money, or for some reason he doesn't want to invest all his money in the bond. So basically he's going to go to a repo dealer, and he's going to say, okay, repo, can you give me please some money to buy the bond? And then the repo dealer is going to give him PT, and this PT is the price of the bond at this time. So this would be like my initial time when I do the trade. The repo dealer is going to give me PT minus haircut. So haircut, basically the one who has to put this is the trader. So this is the only investment made by the trader. And the trader has to put about 2% of the price of the bond. So let's say the price is 100, just for the sake of example. And then, so he's going to give me 98, 100 minus 2% of 100. And then I get those 98, my haircut, 2%, and then I buy the bond at 100. So they're going to give me the bond. Now this bond doesn't really belong to me in the sense that I got this money lent by the repo dealer. So the repo dealer is going to ask for collateral, and basically I'm going to give the bond back to the repo dealer. So the repo dealer is going to get the bond for me in case I default or something. And days later, this would be maturity. I have to unwind this transaction. So the repo dealer is going to give me back my bond. I'm going to go and sell the bond. You see here, this is P capital T. So this bond changed in price. So now the bond can be $105. So basically, since I sold the bond in the market, I'm going to get $105 here. And then I'm going to give back to the repo dealer, not the 105. I'm going to give him back the amount that he lent me, the 98. And then here times some repo rate. So 1 plus the repo rate, and this is n over 360. This is the number of days that he lent me that money. And I'll return that. Everything else is going to be for my profit. The profit is going to be basically the price at capital T minus the initial price. Here n is the number of days over 360. Some repo rate, and this is the rate that it's available in the market. Just imagine that this thing is like an interest rate. It could be like 2%, 5%, 10%. And then this is going to be PT minus haircut. As we said before, this PT could be 100 and the haircut could be $2. So this would be 98. So another way to see this is that we're going to have the flat price change, which is going to be this, plus some accrued interest minus financing cost that is going to be represented by this quantity here. Or basically the flat price plus the carry, and the carry is that second part. So how much capital did you invest? You invest just the haircut. That's really important because remember, this thing is about 2% total transaction. Hence, your rate of return is going to be a very highly levered position. Because here you're going to get like some return, and you're only going to divide by the haircut to compute the return. So at the end, you're going to divide by 2. So as we're going to see, you can generate either large gains or large losses. The repo rate for most treasury securities is called general collateral rate. And for particular bonds, let's say the off-the-run bonds, this rate is called the special repo rate. Okay, let's have an example on how to compute this profit and this repo rate and so on. So let's imagine that at t equals 0, I have a bond that has a price of 100, and the haircut is 2%. So haircut is equal to 2 in dollar terms. And then at t equals 30, so this is in days, the price now goes to 105, and the repo rate is 5%. 5%. So how much are they going to pay me back? So I have to pay back 100 minus 2 of the haircut times 1 plus the 5% of the repo rate multiplied by the number of days that this interest rate is going to apply for. So that's 30 over 360, and this is equal to 98.4083. Now the profit in this case is going to be quite large because it's going to be basically the 105 at maturity minus the 100 minus the 30 over 360 times 5% times the 98. So in this case, this is equal to 4.5916. And basically in this case, my rate of return is equal to the 4.5916 over my investment, which was the haircut, which is 2. So here I have my haircut. Hence, the rate of return is going to be 230%. We can also have the reverse repo. So reverse repo, if in the repo I wanted to go long the bond, here I want to short the bond. So you short the bond whenever you think that bond prices are going to go down. That means the interest rates are going to go up. So how do you do that? You go now, instead of borrowing money, you're going to borrow the bond. So you're going to go to the repo dealer and you're going to say, hey, repo dealer, can you give me the bond? You take that bond, you borrow it, and then you sell it at some price PT at time t equals t, small t. And then you're going to get that money, PT, and you're going to use this PT as collateral. So you're going to give the money back to the repo dealer. And then N days later, you come back to the repo dealer, and then you're going to get back your PT. So in our case before, we said, oh, PT, let's say the price of the bond is 100. So now they're going to give you 100, and now you're the one that is going to gain the repo rate. Before you were paying it, now you're going to gain it. Now, the problem here is, okay, what is this PT equal to? The P capital T. You're going to pay back P capital T. So let's say you hope to pay here something lower, like let's say 90. You're going to buy the bond. Let's suppose you buy it at 90 and you're going to give back the bond to the repo dealer. So all in all, you got back a little bit more than 100 and you paid 90. So you generated a return of, this quantity here is something that is, let's say, about 100 and your investment was 90. So basically you end up getting about like $10 profit. Of course, you need to account precisely for the repo rate. Now let's look at another example. So in this other example, we're going to have that there's a repo of $30 million par, and this repo is going to be for 51 days. Now the market value, that means P small t, it's going to be equal to 31 to 28. This is the market price of our bond, 715, and the haircut is going to be 2%, and basically that means 98% of PT is going to be equal to 30,604,140.70, and the repo rate is going to be 5.25. So after 51 days, what happened here was, here the trader is the repo dealer, and then basically he gave me the PT minus cut. So basically he gave me this amount of money, and then I went and I paid PT for the bond. So here's the market, and I got my bond that I passed it on to the repo dealer. So now we're going to see what happens. So this is at time t, and now we're going to see what happens later on. So at time t equals 51 days, I have to go to the market. I'm going to get PT, right? Because I'm going to go and sell my bond. So I'm going to get PT. So to the repo dealer, I need to pay back PT minus haircut. And we said that this was 30,604,140. And this is going to be times the repo rate, 1 plus the repo rate, which is 5.25%. And I did this for 51 days over 360. And this amount is equal to 30,831,759. Now, if PT is equal to 32 million, then what is the rate of return? This chapter was an introduction to the fixed income market. We saw the fixed income market is the biggest market. We saw interest rate compounding, and there we saw the continuous compounding of interest rates. We saw how to price a bond, accrued interest, the clean and dirty prices, how to price a bond when the maturity is less than one coupon. We saw bond auctions, discriminatory and the uniform auctions, and we saw how the logic of repos and reverse repos and how to price them and how to compute the profit in repos. Thank you very much for watching.